Morning, welcome back to the Garden Salad channel. I'm back here today just to have a walk around the garden, just to show you what's happening. It's been a couple of months now. I planted these, if you remember, in a different video, I think about start of May, I think it was, like May maybe 2nd or something like that. And then it's now 19th of July currently, so what's that, like just over 2 months. And I just want to show you guys how everything's growing, plus I want to show you maybe some other parts too which you haven't seen before. So let's have a look at this stuff here. I'll grab the camera and then I'll show you what's growing and show you what's working, what's not, what I thought would grow and what didn't. So let's have a look at that and we'll get into it. Okay, so we'll start with this down here. This is the spinach. As you can see, it's looking pretty healthy. It all is at the moment. So the spinach here, it's looking pretty good. I'm not sure if you remember when I first planted it in one of the videos, had a little small one. I said, oh, this little weedy one, he might survive. Plant him in the corner. He did not do well. So that's usually when we're planting plants, you try and plant the healthiest ones available. But if you have space, chuck the little one in. You know, you never know. They might grow. So this is them. They're doing pretty well. They're not really, haven't really been eaten much by like insects and slugs and snails and stuff like that. So they're doing pretty good. Probably ready to harvest now. Next on here we have the celery. This has gone great also. Hasn't put out any big thick main stems yet, but that will come as we go along. Down the middle down here we've got leeks. This is probably the best one here. They haven't done as well as I'd hoped. So look at these ones. You know, some of these are pretty much the same size as when I planted them. Just not the ideal, not the best. So they haven't done as well as I wanted them to. Next up we have the cabbage. The cabbage is doing pretty good. They've just started to get like a little heart in the middle, in the centre. So they're a bit loose at the moment, but they will definitely tighten up as they produce that heart in the middle. So usually what happens is you plant them during the winter, well, for here where I am anyway, and they have that slow growth. And the slow growth really produces that just that dense heart in the centre. I find that in summer sometimes they can get a bit leafy and not really produce what you need them to as a cabbage. Next up we got here bok choy. So I mean it's growing, but in some plants doing better than others. This one hasn't done that well, but this one has. These things get attacked by slugs. Every single night I come out and I check my plants before I go to bed, and they have these tiny little slugs on them every single night, and you can see all the holes in the leaves. Just down here, these ones here, just constantly attacked. This here, this is my avocado that's growing. It's looking okay. I can't remember whether I planted that from a seed. I mean, obviously it's from a seed, but I can't remember whether they planted it or whether it's just growing from compost. In any case, I might pull it out at some stage and plant it in a pot. See how it goes. Um, next, we've got this bed here. So some things are doing good, some things aren't. Shall we start with the aren't? Okay, so the aren't is the garlic. Here we've got some, I've never really grown garlic before, so I'm not sure what to expect. It's kind of, this is, I mean, some stuff down here, like you can see that it's only just come out of the ground. Same with this one. So these ones here, these ones are planted fresh with no roots or shoots on them. These couple at the end did have shoots to start with when I planted them, and they've grown a lot better. And these ones are taking their time, and some aren't even coming up really. So I guess in the future, wait till the garlic kind of starts to have shoots in your cupboard before we plant them. That'd be my advice. The other thing here is these. The other thing here is these onions. So they're all laying down and not standing up. Now I was taking out this little weed here. I think it's like an oxalis type thing, and the roots go down really far. And I was digging underneath the onions, trying to cut the roots off at the bottom. And maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's why they're not standing up straight. I mean, there's a couple here which are kind of standing up. But in terms of growth, the thickness is pretty good. I mean, obviously they're a bit shaded at the moment because these broccoli here have fallen over. So I'm going to cut that leaf off in a minute when I finished recording. So carrots, I planted them as seeds, and it's a bit of hit and miss really. Some carrots further along this way haven't grown. Some have. I think probably planted them just a little bit too late, which is why some seeds didn't take and some seeds did. Yeah, I think it's probably the reason. Probably just a little bit late to come up. But once they actually start growing, then they're good to go into winter. But getting them out of the ground, it's a different story. But next we've got the broccoli. So broccoli's doing really well. I mean, these are going gangbusters. Got some good one here which are almost ready to harvest. This one here. This one down here. Almost ready. Probably another week. Yeah, probably another week, maybe 2 weeks. They're going awesome. The problem with broccoli is that snails love them. So I've got these little leaves at the bottom. You can see they've been attacked. Now, my question is, what do you guys do? Do you guys cut these bottom leaves off that have been attacked? Or do you leave them on as like sacrificial leaves so that the snails climb up and they eat or attack the ones closest to the ground? That way they're not attacking, the centre of the plant, the broccoli, which is actually what you want. Do you guys leave them on, or do you take them off? See, down here, all chewed to bits, the bottom leaves. Let me know what you guys do. Lastly, in the veg garden here, we've got this beetroot. So the beetroot is going pretty good actually. Nothing really attacks it. Got some good ones in here. Some good ones growing, which is amazing. They didn't actually have the best start in life, these, because I have a cat, and the cat likes to dig in the garden, and so they got misplaced a few times. Displaced, I should say, not misplaced. So I had to replant them, but now they've come away and are doing amazing. So nice and healthy and strong. Let's see if I can dig under here a little bit. See, it's doing pretty good. So yeah, I think overall the garden is looking great. It's looking pretty healthy for the most part. Time to start harvesting some of the stuff soon. The spinach will probably be first. There's the one I've got, spinach perpetual. So the spinach is probably first, followed by the bok choy, and then after that, I'd say the broccoli. Alright, let me show you this, because I don't really show it normally from back here, from this angle, partly because it's the neighbour's house in the background. So if you can see here, I've got two hedges. These are box hedging. Now, this here is had a couple of like squares, I suppose you could say, and the idea was to plant some, originally was to plant some fruit trees in the centre. But they are really just harvest for the snails. The snails love them, they sit in them and eat them. So during spring I might actually take these hedges out altogether. This one was meant to have like a plant in the centre. Obviously nothing there. This here is a yellow guava, which is actually pretty tasty. It's actually pretty good, but it's not really going the way I want it to. It was one, I can't remember if it grew from seed or it just someone gave it to me, I'm not too sure, but it's planted in the wrong place and now I don't know what to do because it's not on the centre where I want it. I'm not sure if it matters. The idea was to have a plant here, a plant on this side, and then like a climbing kind of like espalier apple or pear in the middle, or maybe even like a passion fruit growing up from the centre. So on this side here we have a coffee tree. So this here is looking pretty good. Hasn't had any coffee beans on it yet. It didn't. At the moment, it's doing well. It wasn't that well until recently because I didn't really fertilize it or anything, and then it wasn't until this last summer, I think it was, that I actually put some compost around the base of it just to help it along, and then it started growing these fresh new leaves here, which I imagine coffee flowers probably go from new leaves, I think. So if it's not growing new leaves, then that's probably why it hasn't done well. But now it's under control, got some compost, seems to be doing happy things. Great. Down here in the middle, got some, this here is vege mulch. That's from the tree that I mulched up. I did a big cut back on that, which I'll just right here. I'll show that a little bit later, I think. Okay, so that's that. Over here in the corner, I've got a little compost heap, which I do have a video on that coming out soon-ish. It's taken a lot longer than I expected, just because it's winter, and the microbial kind of life has slowed down because it's pretty cold. To get some frosts here and stuff like that in the morning. So this thing used to be pretty much full to the brim, this box, and now it's all that's left because it's all composted down, which is awesome. It means that it's doing its thing. So over here, to excuse all the weeds, this is the unkept part of the garden. This here was some of the branches left over from the veg, and they're ready to cut up. I'm going to cut up versus kindling at some stage. Against this fence over here, we've got a couple of peach trees. So these are ones I grew from seed. This one here is a what's this? This is a golden peach, this one. And this one over here, you can see it, it's camouflaged. This here is I think a yellow peach from memory. And underneath it, I've put some compost, some of the weeds from the garden around it, and then of course got the mulch from the feed jar here at this part as well. Over here, it's a tiny little peach tree in here. This was a cutting that I had from a friend at my work who they gave it to me, and when I planted it, it was actually the same size as these ones over here, but either a dog or my son or someone snapped it off, and so I started to grow these shoots out here and a main shoot out the top, but then it got snapped off a second time, and then it became winter, so now it's just kind of dormant and sitting here doing not too much. So that's the story of that one. Now over here we've got weeds. If you know what weeds are, they are the bane of your existence for every gardener. I need to mulch this area. See, I've kind of mulched that area over there, and then a little bit over here, but not in the middle. This one here is actually a really beneficial weed. This is called borage. Now this is got cool little flowers on it, which is amazing. And what happens with this is it's really good just to use it in like permaculture, where you just cut all these leaves off, just let it rot down under your fruit trees. So maybe a bit later on, I'm going to like prune that right down, let it regrow, put the leaves as compost under my fruit trees. These here are more fruit trees. So I've got a clementine mandarin. Hasn't had any mandarins yet, but hopefully this season it will start flowering because it's put out some new shoots recently this season, so all going well, it will be good. Over here is another citrus. This one here is called a Washington navel orange. This one's pretty new. I've only planted it a few months ago. It's not really growing. I'm not sure if you can see the very center here. See if I can get this focus. That's not going to focus. So in the center here, some new little leaves that are just coming out here. So there's hope for this season. Won't produce oranges this season because it's just too small, hasn't put out new growth yet. So we'll probably put out leaves this season, and then the next season will be flowers and then fruit. Sometimes when you put the compost underneath it, you get surprises like this here. This here is a kumara, or a sweet potato, and I'm just going to let it grow. So it happens I might have some sweet potatoes under there later on, possibly. Don't know. Experiment. Over here, somewhere, I can't even see where it is actually. I thought it was here. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's under here. Yeah, here it is. So here is comfrey. It's dies off kind of in winter. Dies off in winter, but it's really good. Has a lot of nitrogen from the ground, and then you can cut it off, put it under your trees to fertilize them, compost down. It has a lot of nitrogen, so it's amazing for the trees. Over here we've got some more borage, which I'll cut down at some stage. Send it under there. Here is nasturtium. So nasturtium is going great. What I actually want to do is to distract the snails and things from eating my fruit trees, and that's kind of its purpose really. At the moment, it's doing alright. Some of it's looking healthy, some of it like this piece. Yeah, it's not. This is the stuff I found on the side of the road and planted in my garden pretty much. But I mean, the small one will probably grow up during this season. But this one you can see it's already like snail things on it, so it's already doing its job, distracting them. Over here, this is the weedier part of the garden. We've got, this here was a yellow tamarillo, but you can see got smashed by snails. Snails absolutely loved it. I'll hurry along because it's raining. This here is sugarcane. It's doing very well. It's sort of like, I don't know, 3 feet tall now, I guess. I got this from a piece. I went to a meeting, a plant meeting, and these people had a piece of sugarcane and they just planted it. I'm not sure if you can see this in here. So you can see this is the original cane, this bit down there. That's the original cane. It was about 6 inches long. Planted it in a pot, and that grew this season. So that sugarcane is doing amazing. Alright, and I'm going to go inside because it's now fully raining and I'm standing in it. So that is me for the moment. Alright, that's it. That's the video for today. Just yeah, it's really great just to walk around the garden and watch everything grow and just come alive. It's just awesome to see it do that. And I'll start to harvest some of the stuff, probably some of the spinach will be first, and then the bok choy. But thanks for joining me. Just remember to like and subscribe to the video. I've only got like 10 subscribers maybe, so appreciate it if you guys would do that. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks very much.